Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well and you've had a good week. Mine's been good actually. It's been what have I been doing? Well, last Saturday, as I kind of mentioned last Friday, I was going to go into Edinburgh, so I did go into Edinburgh. I met my friend and we had a lovely time. It was just so nice. We we walked through Princess Street Gardens on our way to the West End of Edinburgh, having come out of Waverley Station. And it was just really nice walking in the gardens. It was lovely. It was like the sun was out and it was just really lovely. How many times can I say lovely? Yeah, let's see. I will try and find another adjective or whatever the word is. I can never remember it's adjective, verb, or whatever. Oh, I'm not going to even start in English grammar. We'll just not bother. Um, and then we went to a little cafe at the very end, which is sort of it's on Princess Street but Lothian Road, so it was on the corner. There's St John's Church, and I think it was called the Red Cockerel. And we went in there, and I had tea, Fran and some water. We didn't want anything to drink, so we just went where it was to eat, sorry, because we weren't really hungry. And we just spent time sitting outside, chatting, catching up, and everything, which was really really nice. And then we went to Waterson's and we didn't go for a mooch about. We immediately went up to the cafe because we thought it'll probably get busy at lunchtime. So went up there, chose what we wanted for lunch, and on our way up we'd picked up copies of the Edinburgh Book Festival programme. So while we were kind of eating and chatting, we were having a wee quick flick through to see if there's anything that we both wanted to go to. And we've chosen when we're going to next meet up, and there is something at the book festival that we want to go and see or hear about. But I'll tell you more about that actually probably when I've been and seen what it's all about. And then we had a mooch, and for my birthday she was going to buy me a book, so that was fine. So I picked The Light Years by Elizabeth Jane Howard. I'd seen Melissa from Libraries and Labradors. She'd read this and she loved it. It sounded something that I would probably enjoy, kind of family history, saga thing. And interesting that my friend Fran has also read it and she really loved it. So I thought, right, okay, definitely going to give that a try. So that was my birthday present from Fran. So as I say, we did mooch around Waterson's and then walked along Princess Street, went for a coffee, and then I caught the train and came home. So it was just really good to be, to go back into Edinburgh. It's been sort of since February since I've been there, so it was nice just to have some time in there, to spend time with Fran and just catch up, as the saying goes. So reading wise, it's been not a bad week actually. So I read First Died by James Patterson, gave this 5 out of 5. This had me turning the pages. I couldn't stop reading this. It was so good. I think part of what I do like about it, one of the things that does appeal to me, is it has very short chapters. It's like chapters are 4 pages, 5 pages max. And it's brilliant. You really feel you're accomplishing something as you're ripping through these chapters. So we meet Lindsay Boxer, and she's the first lady to become she's the only woman homicide inspector in San Francisco. But there is a brutal killer on the loose, and he is targeting brides and grooms. And he's not just sticking to San Francisco, he's going to other places as well. And she knows she only works with this one detective, but he's being sort of pushed back a bit, and this other man is coming in, Chris, and there's chemistry between Chris and Lindsay, but she doesn't really want to get involved because obviously they're on the job, and etc etc. And it's the story of how they start solving the mysteries, and she's very friendly with Claire Washburn, who is the coroner. They're best friends, and so she turns to her for help. There's also this lady, Cindy Thomas, who's a journalist. She becomes friends with her, and they sort of start, herself and Claire start helping, and then she also brings in Jill Bernhardt, who's an attorney, and the four of them form a club where they can bounce ideas off each other and sort of try and work out what's going on. Added to this, Lindsay receives some news about her own health that has shaken her to the core, basically, and she's having to deal with that. And it's like, does she tell the ladies? Does she tell her Chris, the guy she's working for? Things like this. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and I will definitely be getting the next one, because I flew through it. It was just, as I say, it just kept me turning the pages. I then read, or have been reading, Christmas at the Little Waffle Shack by Helen Rolfe. I've got 40 pages to go in it. I will be finishing it this week, or this weekend. Probably finish it tonight, which is fine. I'm a member of the Jane Porter review crew, and her book Flirting with Fire, we got the PDFs of it last weekend. And the great thing is that you can actually print it off, so I actually printed it off double-sided. I know a lot of ink, but it saved me having to read it on the computer, which I can't stand. I just don't like reading on my laptop. It just doesn't work for me. So I gave this book 4.5 out of 5. It was so good. I really enjoyed it. We meet Margot. Now, Margot works in the town for Sally. Now, Sally is an older lady. So is Margot. Margot's 49. Sally is a real estate lady, and she has numerous pies and numerous fingers in various pies, shall we say. One of which is the local community theatre. And their summer season is about to start. But the person that was directing the play has managed to ostracize all the crew, all the sort of like the crew for behind the scenes. She's ostracized the two main leads, and they've walked out, so has the crew. So basically, and then the director quit as well. So she's like, the summer season is not going to happen unless there's a major change. Now, Margot used to be an actress in Hollywood, but she's come home and is not wanting to do any more, she didn't want to do any more theatre or anything like that. But Sally has kind of asked her to be director of, the play. And she's sort of humming and hawing about it. I'll tell you tomorrow. That night, Sally ends up in hospital with a heart attack. And that kind of gives Margot the push to say, yes, I'll direct. No problem, I'll direct. But Sally's got other things up her sleeve. She used to be very friendly with this, or she's still friends with this man called Max. And Max is an actor. He's one of the leading lights in Hollywood. And as soon as he hears that Sally has had her heart attack, he comes back to town. And he goes to see her, but she gets Margot to pick him up at the airport, and Sally manages to wangle it that Max and Margot will take the leads in the play. So Margot, as well as directing, was also going to be the lead actress. And the play was Barefoot in the Park, and they've both read it, seen it, done it. But they have Margot's an idea which she runs by Max, and he agrees to it. I'm not going to say what the idea is, but they do something different with it. And Margot brings in Jess, who also works in the real estate office. And Jess is going to be basically Margot's right-hand woman, is going to organise like crew, all the backstage stuff, all the flats, everything. Because she's got loads of ideas, so she is dealing with that, and she's doing an absolutely fabulous job. And the more time that Margot and Max spend together, the more that they really like, they like each other, and they decide that, or don't decide, but they start to have a bit of a relationship. But then things from Max's past and a person from Max's past come back that really sort of throw a spanner in the works. And there are certain things that Margot wants to be a mum. She wants to have a family. Max doesn't. So there is this conflict as well, and the way the conflict was built up, and the way that various other people came into the conflict, not only, well, some to stir the pot, shall we say. One character in particular stirred the pot. Others were caring, wanted to give advice, and wanted to help, etc. The way that the issue was resolved was it was, there was a resolution, and it was a brilliant resolution. It's probably one that a lot of people maybe wouldn't have considered or thought about, which was really good. I really liked the way this book was written. I liked the plot line. I thought it was very well done. I liked the growth of both Margot and Max. They're both in their 40s. She's late 40s, I think he's mid 40s. But the growth that both characters went through, and the way that they handled the various situations they were in. Max at some point could have maybe been a wee bit, I would say, maybe stronger, but he handled things the way he thought best, and it did, it worked, but maybe he needed to stand up a wee bit more, shall we say. I loved Sally. I thought Sally was a fantastic character. Older lady who wants to help people, who, is just got a zest for life. It was brilliant. I'm so glad that I got to read this early. I am, when it comes out, it'll be out within the next month and a bit. I would say go read it. This is her Flirting With series, and it is just really fun read. Great characters, great plot lines. So yeah, I would highly recommend it when it comes out. So as I say, that's what I've read this week. The other thing I will be reading this weekend on my Kindle is One Summer in Sydney by Annie Claydon. This is my Mills and Boon pick for next month. So I started it yesterday. At the moment it's a very easy, quick read. It's reading very fast, which is nice. So that's kind of my reading for this week. The Jane Porter and the James Patterson, they are quite chunkers. Actually, when I look at it, they both were quite chunky, so that's fine. I was quite happy with that. So only kind of completed 2 books. Probably by the end of the day I'll be completed 3 books, but that's fine. I don't mind that. I'm quite happy that I have, maybe only read 3 books in a week. That's okay. I am not bursting a gut to read anything else. What are my plans for this weekend? Well, Sunday, hopefully, I will definitely be going no matter what the weather is. The weather's supposed to be absolutely awful. It's going to be like raining, but I'm still going to go. There is a book festival just for one day called First Date. I think it's the very first one of this book festival, and it's romance books, and there's going to be some authors there. There are going to be publishers, etc. So I thought I'd just go into Edinburgh and have a look. It's being held at the Scottish Storytelling Centre on the Royal Mile. So no, just a quick nip up the road from me, actually, once I've got off the train at Waverley. So I'm going to go to that. I mean, I'm not going to stay the whole day. I'm just going to go and sort of see what's happening. They've got a marketplace, so I'll go and sort of see that. Maybe talk to some publishers, etc. Maybe sort of see if I could be a reviewer for them. See if there's anything that really sparks me that I want to read. So yes, I plan to do that tomorrow. I've got no idea what I'm doing tomorrow. Got no plans as of yet. This afternoon I'm going out with my other half. We've been trying to work out where we want to go for a holiday, and we're not going to go till December. We're doing Christmas market again, and we think we want to do Brussels and Bruges. Well, that's kind of our number one, and trying to get there is, we would like to do a direct flight, but the timings of the direct flights are just like, oh my gosh. And if we sort of trying to get a better flight, we're having to do 2 flights. So you're kind of going to say they're sending out to Vienna to fly back to Bruges. It's like, what? Or flying you to Frankfurt and back to Bruges, or to Brussels. I'm like, come on. I like these flights. It's like, you're sitting in an airport for 3.5 hours. It's like, oh. So we decided that what we're going to do is we're going to go to a mall, a strip mall on the outskirts of Edinburgh this afternoon, and we're going to go into a travel agent there and see what they can help us with. We would like to do like that kind of Brussels and Bruges is like the number one. And then we'll go to the Netherlands, we'll go to Austria, we'll go to Germany. There are various places in each of them. Second for me in the list is Vienna, but Martin's already done Vienna. So it's trying to maybe pick somewhere that neither of us have done. Neither of us have done Brussels. I've done Bruges, but I'm very happy to go back. So we need to just sort of go and have a chat and see what we can come up with. But hopefully, fingers crossed, that as of tea time tonight, we've got it nailed down, and we know exactly when we're going, etc., where we're staying, blah de blah. So yeah, so that'll be nice to something to look forward to. We both love Christmas, and it's nice to just get away before the madness starts, basically. But it's just also, you think, right, okay, I've got to, the dates we've chosen, right, I've got everything done by then, so that I've got all his Advent stuff done and everything before we come back. So that's good. But it also means it gives me time for wherever we are, that I can buy a few wee surreptitious things and put them into a stocking or something. So, and it means I can pick up things from Mum and Dad and other friends as well, which is quite nice. So that's kind of this afternoon's little jaunt. But yeah, so apart from that, guys, nothing much else has been happening. So yeah, but please let me know down in the comments, what are your plans for the weekend? I'd love to know. If any of you are in Scotland, or any of my viewers are in Scotland, and you're thinking of going to first date, please let me know. It'd be fun to meet up if you wanted to. But yeah, so that's that. And also, what have you been reading this week? I'd love to know what are your plans for reading this weekend. Have you read any of the books that I have mentioned? Be great to have a chat about them. And yeah, I think that's it. It's raining just now, which is not that great, but hey ho. It's warm, it's muggy as well, which is not nice. I don't like it when it's muggy. But anyway, I am waffling, friends. I really am waffling. But anyway, that's it now, definitely, for this video. But until I see you next time, friends, stay safe and happy reading. Bye.